All right. Welcome, everybody, to the last day of, I guess, the first week. I know it's technically week 2, but fourth round is sort of the midpoint, and then we get to the serious stuff tomorrow. But it's an interesting day. Probably not the busiest day of the tournament. I mean, there's a lot of top half of the draw for the men and the bottom half of the draw. The bottom half of the draw for the ladies, all the seeds came through, but the top half of the draw for the men, a lot of players, a lot more upsets happened on the top half of the draw. So the matches are not as crazy as we could have had. For example, Musetti is versus Munar. It could have been Musetti Draper, right? Draper was in that part of the draw. This match was probably, I mean, look, it's definitely not a bad match. That's why we're watching it. But obviously, Zverev was the one that was could have been here and taking on Rublev, and then you got Demonor taking on Reedy, which is the most random match of the four. Sinner Bublik at the top. That was supposed to happen, but Hashanov was the one that's sort of missing there. So it's a bit of a weird one at the top half of the draw, because bottom half of the draw you've got, well, after yesterday we've got Djokovic, Fritz, Lehechka, Alcaraz, and that's two very crazy good matches. On the women's side, way more competitive. Every match is pretty crazy, to be honest. Swiatek, Alexandrova, Gauff, Osaka. Obviously, that's the big one. Kostruk versus Mukov is pretty interesting as well. Both have had to play a bunch of three setters too, and then also Daj Maya taking on Nismova. So yeah, it's an interesting day, but I think we're all sort of waiting for the tomorrow. Tomorrow is when everything's going to just take a whole new... it's going to feel like the tournament starts tomorrow when we get sort of the those big names, Fritz, Djokovic, like those like top 10 clashes that we've been waiting for patiently for a whole week. Happy Labor Day to everybody. How do you celebrate Labor Day besides just getting a day off? Do you actually is there anything that you do? Do you, what, do you just have a barbecue? What's the celebration? Do you have to do anything for it? Or is it just a day off? No, like Fritz, one of the greatest matchups. I mean, I think tomorrow will be an interesting time to have that match. I said in the preview, if you watched that, go have a barbecue at the beach. Cool. Firework display. All right. Fair enough. Just have a day off. Imagine having to do something on Labor Day. Some have barbecues or go camping. Okay. Just treat it as a day off. Yeah. I think that's the same in Australia. I don't think anyone does anything. I think most people don't even know what it is. They're just like, hey, we get a day off on Monday. Let's go. 3-day weekend. Why? I don't know. Why not? We go through it every year. I think it's, I'm pretty sure now we know. It's like a day to remember not remember. It's a day to acknowledge that the 8-hour work week, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You get a day off. To celebrate having 8-hour days of work. So you get a day off. One day off, yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's like to acknowledge how before the 8-hour work day or the 40-hour work week, that it was real shift work and 12-hour days and 16-hour days were terrible, and that even though it feels like 40-hour work weeks and the 8-hour days are bad, it was worse back in the day. I think that's what the Labor Day stands for, right? That it used to be worse. Why aren't you watching Demonor? Because we don't watch Demonor or Aussies unless we have to. Labour is struck for better hours and conditions. Yeah. Yeah, and it was again. I mean, we go through this every year, but I think it's without googling it because we're going to get over this in 2 seconds. But it was like to have like 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure. I think that was why, like, to rather than going like, 2 hours of sleep and 16 hours of working in going to work and then too tired to do anything else. I think that's what it was. So to make it like three, like a third. So a third of the day you go to sleep, a third of the day you go to work, a third of the day you do whatever you want. I know that technically doesn't happen because you've got to travel to work and it takes you're on the bus, you're on the train for 2 hours there and back, or you're driving in traffic and you kind of start your day at 7 o'clock and then you get there by 9, and by the time you get home it's 6 p.m. and driving a car, unless you like driving, or sitting on a train, unless you like trains, isn't really leisure. But working from home is fun. But still, it used to be worse. So how celebrate your day? Everyone, I mean, I never get Labor Day off. I'm always working on Labor Day, but I work all the time, so that's my own fault. Maybe I should create my own Labor Day. We're having a Labor Day on the 10th of September. That's my Labor Day. Actually, no, it's not. I got to do. No, that's not going to happen. I'm gonna have a Labor Day on the 17th. That's my Labor Day. I'm not going to do any work on the 17th. I'm going to have a day. That's on a Wednesday. That's awkward. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Yep. Labor Day. We're going to do Labor Day with 3 days of Labor Cup. Your Labor Day is post Wimbledon. Yeah, sometimes. All right, players on court. But everyone have a good one. Celebrate. Just have a great day. Is Labor Day like a bank holiday? Yes. Create your own Labor Day. That's it. By the way, Chad, I went to the Thrift yesterday. Didn't find a chair. I did find a chair, but it wasn't real. I was like, the color wasn't good. I didn't like the color of it, but it was super, super comfy. It was like a leather chair but it was like a beige orangey color, and I was like, I don't like this color. But it was so comfortable. I sat down and was like, oh man, I'm going to fall asleep. So good. It was so comfy, but it was just not the right color. And then I found Phil Collins' Greatest Hits for $2 and put that on in the car. Chat, if you're listening to that album, it went from, what was the song? It went from, I was there and like, oh man, Phil Collins is great. Going crazy, Genesis, blah, blah, blah. And it went from, what was the song? That really upbeat song that he sings. Oh God, I'm a fake fan. I'm not even a fan. But he's got great songs. I mean, he's one of the sounds of the 80s. Easy Lover. It went from Easy Lover, and then all of a sudden it goes to Against All Odds. And I'm like, what? This is an emotional roller coaster. Easy Lover, which is like so upbeat, like dancey, and then all of a sudden it's just like, just knocks you down with Against All Odds. You're like, Phil, stop. Stop it, Phil. God damn it. It was brutal. Yeah, Easy Lover was great. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then Against All Odds just like kicks you right in the feels. Phil. So that was fun. And then I found a clock. Which was really cool. That is not a 90. I did research because I got it. I was like, I'll just get it. And then when I got it home, I realized it was super dirty. I think it must have been in a restaurant or something, or a kitchen, because it was like, it had like a lot of, it was just really dirty. So I had to clean it. But it turns out it's not an authentic clock from the 2000s or 90s. It's like it's just you can buy them for like $150 online, but I got it for $20, so that's a plus, and it's pretty cool. It's like a 90s inspired clock, and I'm like, still pretty cool. Love your op shop escapades. Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing much. Mondays are pretty slim. You go out on Monday, because remember, you don't have to remember anything, but when I go on Mondays, some of the places are open on the weekend. So when you go on Mondays, everybody, like the whole, like, you know, so much, there's nothing there. They haven't restocked anything because either the thrifts are closed on the weekends or they're open. So then like everybody on the weekend goes to them. So they've got nothing left. So you rock up and it's just like a bunch of, you know, lampshades and random things that people don't want, like hair straighteners and stuff. And I'm like, who wants a hair? Does anyone buy secondhand hair straighteners? I feel like I don't think that's a thing, is it? Maybe it is, and I should look into it. but yeah, everything's just been picked over, you know. Everything's just been, so there's nothing there. It was just like, but I found the clock. And I found a CD, so I was happy. It was successful. Both for me. By the way, life hack, don't tell the people when you buy it from the thrift store, but you can find some really cool presents at thrift stores for people. You find such unique stuff. Don't tell them that you got it from there, because then they'll think you're cheap, but still... You can buy some really cool stuff from thrift stores. All right. Here we go, chat. They're about to start. FAA versus Rublev. We have a big day today. We've got Osaka taking on Gauff after this. Also, Swiatek, Alexandrova. Demonel's playing right now. We'll keep an eye on him. And then tonight we've got Sinner Bublik. And then other matches as well. Musetti Munar's playing as well. I'm not sure if we watch that. It'd be one of those things where we just kind of see. I expect this to go 5, so I don't think we'll watch that because this will be more than enough. And the two ladies' matches we're watching this afternoon are going to also potentially be 3 sets. So we might be we might need an hour break between that and tonight anyway. So, yeah. I bought my aunt a nice shirt from the thrift store. She had no idea it was from there. Yeah, you don't have to tell them. If they like it, it doesn't matter where it's from. As long as it's, you know... I think people get the wrong idea about thrift stores. They think like secondhand means like terrible, like used and dirty and disgusting and gross. And it's like, well, that's not true. Plus, if it is true, you just go home and clean it. You put things in the wash, you get some cleaner and you clean the thing that you bought. I mean, you should do that anyway. Even if it's not dirty, just clean it anyway, just in case. But like, who cares? I mean, people. I'm sure that no one's going to walk into my house and go, "Wow, what's all this rubbish?" Like, nobody's going to think that I bought all this trash. I hope not. My house doesn't look like a garbage tip. I don't think it does. Anyways, I'm not a hoarder. Who's winning this match? I'm going to go Rublev. I think Felix, after a great win against Zverev, even though, like, I don't think he played his final against Zverev, but I'm going Rublev. I think I'm going Rublev. I'm going to go Rublev in 5. Because Rublev played against Wong in 5. Wong served really well, so that's why that went 5. And Felix, that was a monumental win against Zverev. Can he back it up? I don't think he played his final, but I also think that I think that Rublev needs to, like, he knows the job's not done, whereas Felix might be like, hey, I've had a pretty good week. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I made the 4th round. I beat a top 10 guy. It's been pretty good. Whereas I think Rublev's like, I haven't done anything yet. I have to get to the semis. 15 love. As Felix hits a forehand long, and it's 15-all. By the way, 50-50 in the betting as well. I think it was pretty. I think maybe Rublev was a slight favorite. Slight favorite in this one. 15-0. I tell you though, this I love that Felix is playing well. Like I love it. I have a soft spot for FAA. Since 2019, when I couldn't pronounce his name, and I called him Auger-Aliassime or something. I can't remember what I said. Since like 2019 Rio, when he had a run, I've been like, this guy's so good. I love this guy. And it's been a roller coaster ever since. But I love when he plays well. Because he's so damn talented. He's so good. And then when he beat Federer on grass in Halle, like 21, I think it was. Love that. And then he win titles for so long, and then he won like 3 in a row. Ah, I mean, you guys know if you're a Felix fan, it's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows. A lot of highs, like, oh my god, he's like untouchable, and then he's just like can't win 2 matches in a row, and you're like, ah. But when he's good, he's great. Yeah, that end of 2022 was crazy. Those 3 indoor titles in a row was nuts. As he says, today set wide, 40-30. Cam, you're up early or late. I'm surprised you were covering this match. Yeah, I'm always up. Well, I slept for like 5 hours, so I'm good. By the way, from tomorrow onwards, we're probably going to watch everything. Everything! Sorry. Too early to yell. 40-30. A7C, one love. I had to clean my desk. It's a mess. It's true that we've gotten rid of a roller coaster. We've ridden a roller coaster of Felix. But when he's good, he's fabulous. Oh, yeah. ESPN is listening to commentators are echoing Cam. Are they? Why, are they yelling into the microphone saying everything like Gary Oldman in The Professional? Are they stealing jokes? All right, 5 minutes played. 3 minutes played. I lied. Don't worry about it. By the way, Demino's up a set and a break. We love that. Sorry. It's too early to be screaming. All right, back to, let's see what Rublev's got. We're going to get a tie break, I think. 1 tie break. Just 1. What tournament am I most excited for after the US Open? Laver Cup. Laver Cup. Laver Cup is awesome. As we're serving the backhand of Felix. Backhand from Rublev. As Felix with a forehand to the slice of Rublev. Felix forehand inside out. Rublev gets there but hits it wide. And it's love 15. ESPN was literally repeating you about FAA's career was a true echo. That's crazy. I can't hear what I don't have ESPN, so I don't know what they're saying. That's crazy. Well, if I'm echoing them, then must be doing something right. Or it's just like common knowledge. No one's really that. We're just all like, oh yeah, we're just stating the easy, obvious facts. Love 15. That goes out by Auger-Aliassime, and it's 15-0. Murat Safin in the house. What is he wearing? That I don't. As a man who wears stripes, that shirt looks. I don't know what the. I mean, I don't know. That's. You know what it is? It's because he's a tennis coach and he's wearing normal people clothes. That's what it is. I'm used to seeing like polo shirts and like tennis outfits of the coaches, but that looks. He's just wearing like a stripy shirt. He's just like. He looks like just a civilian in the crowd. He doesn't look like a coach. He's just like, I'm just here. He looks so casual. I love that for Safin. He's just wearing a stripy white and white and blue shirt. Safin is the most. I mean, he's got the tattoos everywhere. He is just like the most he doesn't look like a coach at all. If you showed him and people didn't know who he was, you'd be like, oh, that's just some guy in the crowd. But they keep showing this celebrity. Forehand goes in the net from Rublev, 30-all. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go to the beach. Exactly. I love that. Yeah, no, he looks cool, but he doesn't doesn't look like he stands out. He doesn't look like a coach. He's just wearing like a chilled outfit. Because of the no collar, maybe? Yeah, maybe. I think it's just the whole shirt, to be honest. All right, 30-all. Rublev in trouble. As the return goes in the forehand of Rublev. Forehand now from Auger-Aliassime to the backhand of Rublev. They go backhand to backhand. As with a forehand again to the backhand of Rublev. FAA backhand into the backhand of Rublev again to the backhand of Felix. Rublev backhand again into the forehand of Felix. Rublev again with the forehand to the forehand of Felix. Rublev goes with the backhand inside out. Beautiful shot. Felix gets it. And then Rublev goes down the line with the backhand winner. Great tennis. 40-30. 40-30. Yeah, what a great matchup. I agree. I concur. If any match is going to go 5 sets this week, it's this one. These guys have played 8 times. It's 7-1 in favor of Rublev. How about it? Oh, pardon me. They have played twice this year. Rublev won both matches, but one of those matches went to a 3rd set tiebreak. Okay, forehand goes out. Backhand goes out by Felix, and it's 1-all. So they played in Hamburg semifinals, and it was Rublev winning in 6-1, 6-4. But then when they played in Doha, it was 7-5, 4-6, 7-6 Rublev. FAA hasn't won since Rotterdam 2022, where he won the title. So Rublev's won the last 5 in a row. But 3 of those 5 have gone the distance in best of 3. This is the first time they've played at a slam. But I'm looking at their matches. Only one of the Hamburg matches, they're the only time it's ever been one-sided. They played in Croatia 2018, 3 sets Rublev. They played in Adelaide 2020, 3 sets Rublev. And they all played, there was tie breaks in every match. Almost every match they played a tie break, except for that Hamburg one. Then they played in Rotterdam, Auger-Aliassime, 3 sets. Then they played in Marseille, which is probably, I think, like a week later. And Rublev won in a close straight sets in the final, 7-5, 7-6. Then they played in Rotterdam in 2024. It was 3 sets Rublev, 7-5 in the third. They played in Madrid last year as well, 7-5 in the third. Rublev in the final, remember? Remember that final? When FAA was sick? No, sorry, Rublev was sick, and Felix had a chance to win. I think he served for it, and he couldn't get it. And then they played this year in Doha, and it was 7-6 in the third. Yeah, Hamburg 6-1, 6-4. That was the worst match they've ever played against each other. But every other match, even though it's 7-1 Rublev, every other match has been a banger. All right, 30 love. As with a fault from FAA, second serve. The winner of this match will play de Minaur, who's winning right now. I'm assuming de Minaur wins. And if he loses, I'll cry. Double fault. 30-15. I have Rublev winning this in 5. As Felix serves again. There's a let. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. That was gross. Sorry. 30-15. As Rublev flying across court, Felix gets it with a slice. Rublev comes to the net. Felix puts up a lob. Rublev puts away the smash. 30-all. 30-all. If he goes 5, Rublev honestly has a physical edge. The man does not get tired. Ridiculous cardiovascular fitness. Oh, yeah. But I also think if it does go the distance, 7-1, as that kid caught the ball, good for him. 7-1 will be in Felix's mind like, oh, I've played this guy a lot. I've lost. At the end of these matches, I've lost in close ones, you know? Like, I think that is going to matter. Especially that Madrid loss last year, which was, again, I think, remind me, did Felix serve for the championship? At 5-4 and then Rublev came back? Or was Felix a chance to break at 5-all maybe? I can't remember. He had a chance to win. I remember that at the end of the match. I just can't remember exactly. As the return goes in from Rublev, 30-40, break point. He served for it. You're right. I think I can't remember exactly. I know he had a chance though. He definitely had a chance. 30-40. Breakpoint Rublev. God, my feet are cold. 30-40. Rublev take the break. As Felix serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes back into Felix. Forward out from Rublev. Felix with a slice. Rublev on the attack. Felix backhand on the stretch. Rublev gets it with the backhand into the backhand of Auger-Aliassime. He hits a long. And it's 2-1. We have the break. So Cam not covering WTA match in an hour? You gotta... What are you talking about? All right. Rublev starts strong. 2-1. FA did almost had Madrid. Yep. He almost did. And Rublev was sick that week. And I think he said being sick helped him win because he didn't have to think. He wasn't thinking much. So he didn't have to he would have the energy to get angry. So he was kind of just like, I'm just going to hit the ball. Which I love that. That he was, that he won that title by just being too tired to be angry. He did beat, and remember, Rublev did beat Alcaraz along the way in that tournament too. I know Alcaraz was injured, but... Perfect stuff for Rublev, yeah. 2-1. 2-1. Rublev. I'll wake up eventually. 2-1. As Rublev serves. By the way, Chad, I just saw the cameraman on the side of the court and got me thinking, when do you think, like, there's going to be a time when cameramen are not going to be a thing, right? Like, that's going to get automated, right? I hope not, because I feel like, but I mean, like, with tracking technology and, like, somebody could just be in the booth in the top of the stadium and just like pressing buttons between. I mean, I do that. I press buttons and changes different things. I hope it doesn't happen because I feel like we're being replaced. It already can be automated. Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen drones that like track people and movement and just like follow people around. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's way more difficult than just like pressing buttons, but I know it's more difficult because I've seen people, they have like the windy wheels and they zoom into. But I mean, let's hope not. We gotta stop. We gotta stop this tech. Like we gotta stop people innovating with technology. We've had enough. It's enough. It's fine. Just let us get used to what we're doing and let us learn what we're doing, and then we'll do other things. Innovation needs to stop. We need to stop, chat. How about instead of innovating, we design cool things instead of being like turning the world into a robot. 3015. We need to stop. 4015. It's enough. Everything, it's fine. We don't need, it's fine. Let's just pause. Bring back flip phones. 4015. All right, first serve is fault, second serve. No need to change. Sideline umpires got changed due to errors. Cameramen don't make errors. True. Yeah, no need to change it. But it's like, that was the thing, right? It's like, the reason the lines people are gone is because Hawkeye did a better job. Why would you automate cameramen when they're not doing a bad job? Like, there's no need to. The only reason they'd get replaced is because, it's cheaper, right? Which is not the right reason to change things. Anyways, Rublev 3-1. But that's a good point. Bring back lines, people, and rotary dial phones. We don't need to do the rotary phones, but... Speaking of that, I found a rotary phone at the Thrift yesterday. I was going to get it. It was $15, but I'm like, I don't need it. And also didn't know what... I didn't have anything to do. I just thought, I don't need this. Somebody else can buy it. All right, 3-1 Rublev. As with a 4-4 rally. Felix, the 4 down the line, is a beautiful shot. And it's 15 love. Rotary dial-up cell phones? That would kind of be cool, though. I'm sure there's an app you can just like, I'm going to call somebody. You can probably do that on your phone anyway. That would be kind of fun. Anyway, slice from Felix. Rublev comes to the net, but Felix puts it past him. Great passing shot from FAA. 30 love. Yeah, Demonor is cruising. If it was a rotary phone built into a lamp, you would be showing it off right now. Oh, yeah, of course. You kidding me? All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes out by Rublev, 40 love. Also, with the phone that I saw, I think it was it kind of looked, it had a, I don't know if it was, it felt like it was almost it didn't feel like it was from the era. It looked like it was kind of a replica that might have been like tried to look like a rotary phone, but was actually from like 2010. So I was like, it didn't feel authentic enough. So I was like, if I was going to get it as just to put on my shelf, it would have to look and have to be from the time. It couldn't just be it didn't even look like, it was just like, I don't know, the numbers looked like too new. on the wheel. Maybe they just replaced it, but I was like, didn't feel it. Anyways, FAO holds 3-2. All right. Rublev with the break, 3-2. I tell you, maybe if I go to the Thrift later today, which I'm planning to, if it's still there, I'll give it another look. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was too tired. We'll see. I already have a landline phone that doesn't work because I haven't connected it. Maybe I could get it, and then I could have matching ones. I could have one in this room, and I could use it on stream. We could do prank calls or something. Just, hello? Do you ever haggle? What, at the Thrift? No. No, because it's going to charity. I'm not going to haggle over a price for charity, like that's going to charity. Or going to a cause, right? It's like $15? No, $10. So it's all going to the, you know what I mean? I would haggle if I was at like a flea market or something. That's a little different. Or at a yard sale, I'd probably haggle. But not at a thrift store. 15 love. I feel like if you're at a charity store and you're haggling at a charity store, unless there's an item that like you can tell that's not, you can tell it's broken, and you're like, I really want this, but I'm not going to pay $40 for it because it's broken, or it's not like it's missing things, and then maybe you can be like, that might be a little different. But then again, why don't you just leave it and give somebody else will buy it? Like get the one that actually, you know what I mean? But even then, I wouldn't haggle. I don't think I'd haggle. If even yesterday, I looked at the Phil Collins CD and I was like, oh, it's really scratched. It was $2, and I was like, oh, it's really scratched. But I wouldn't have been like, oh, $1. It's like, no, I'll just pay $2, and if it doesn't work, whatever. You take the risk. Anyway, it's 40 love. At the end of the day, it's going to, they got it for free, and you're paying. Its money's going somewhere. Rublev holds 4-2. I need a record player, but then I have to get records. And records are hard to get. Records are expensive. That's an expensive hobby. That's why CDs are so good right now. Because I've got like a CD stereo. By the way, nothing better than playing a CD in the car. It sounds so much better than my phone. And also I can't put records on an iPod, so I'm gonna keep getting CDs instead. 4-2. As Rublev serves. So FAA serves. Rublev retreats on the second serve and hits a return long. 15 love. 15 love. Chat, what do you collect? Do you have any? Does anyone else? We got any collectors in the house? Is there anything that you collect? $15 love. As with a forehand wide by Rublev. 30 love. I saw albums at Target. What, records or CD albums? You should stream in black and white for a retro theme. I collect memories. Cool. I have 750 CDs, but only 45 pieces of vinyl. Okay. I love that, though. That's awesome. That's a cool collection of music. I collect flags from different countries. Oh, nice. Books. Somebody collects debt. That's sad. It's so. I feel like it's so. I feel bad for the people that are like, yeah, I collect debt, and it's like, okay. Hopefully, you're just joking. Collect calories. See, this is depressing now. Like, it's like, oh, I collect calories. Please be joking. You know. Like, I collect emotional damage. I don't want it. Don't do that. Charlie, come on. We don't, come on. That was it. That's not what I was asking. 30-15. As we get a turn in the net by Rublev. 40-15. Collect vinyl. Yeah, vinyl's pretty popular to collect. They're selling vinyl again. Oh, yeah. Vinyl is huge. Cheap guitars and records. Nice. DVDs. Nice. Authentic albums and records. Nice. So a lot of people collecting physical media. I collect PS5 Collector's Edition games. Ooh. Nice. I collect autographed photos. My walls look like a sports bar. Nice. As that goes out by Rublev, and it's 4-3. Rublev with the break. I collect postcards from countries I visited. Cool. I collect notebooks filled with Sasha's matches. Where do you get those from? Or do you create them? Do you draw them? Dead dust and pain. Oh no. I still have my stamp collection, coin collection from when I was a kid. I'm now 27. Oh, nice. Some of that stuff might be worth something, but also priceless because of memories. Old school perfumes. Okay. Collect magic cards like Magic the Gathering, or Magic like. I collect chessboards all around the world. Oh, that's cool. I collect German books. Nice. Oh, you collect. Wait, what? You collect what? You collect notebooks filled with Sasha matches. But I don't understand what that means. Please elaborate. I don't understand, Angela. I collect pens, Swiss-made. I'm going to butcher this. Caran d'Ache are my favorite. Okay, nice. Vinyls are good, but there is big image on cover. Oh, because of the image on the cover. Okay. You collect Magic the Gathering cards. Nice. I had a wine collection. Cool. I'm collecting Cam's smiles and laugh. Okay. In the wrong context, that would sound like a threat. Pokemon cards. Nice. I used to collect a lot of Pokemon cards during school, and my dad burned them one day because I wasn't studying. Damn, that's brutal. Holy shit. That's brutal. That is brutal. Mine's a bit silly, but I recently found a perfume line at the dollar store. I really liked the one I tried out, and I ended up buying the whole set. Hey, that's nothing silly about whatever you want to collect, whatever you like. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, there is something, you know. I mean, if you're collecting like old pizza boxes, maybe that's probably something. I mean, unless they're like, you know, I mean, we're talking about not hoarding, but that's not hoarding. That's great. Should be ashamed of that. Sasha matches, I write down each point in stats. Oh, okay, nice. I'm like, how do you get Sasha matches like data in books, like from him? How do you? But that makes sense. All right, Felix, love 40. Chance to break back. Rublev's starting to get a little annoyed. 6 years of notebooks watching Sasha Zverev matches. Wow. That's impressive. It's pronounced Karen Dash. Okay, nice. And his return goes in to the forehand of Rublev, backhand from Felix. The backhand of Rublev is Felix backhand into the Rublev forehand. Felix the backhand on the stretch. Rublev again to the forehand of Felix into the backhand of Rublev. And Rublev in the net. We're back on serve. 4-all. Felix is wearing a hat. All right. He is. I can confirm he is wearing a hat. 4-all. He's wearing a hat. I had 30 plus Goosebump books back in the 90s when I moved out of my mum shortly after, and they were gone. Along with half my Lego. It crushed me, mainly the Lego. Still have my Pogs and hockey cards. That's brutal. Yeah, my mum was the opposite. I was like, can I have my Lego? And she's like, you better not sell this. And I'm like, all right, I won't. And I didn't. So, yeah, my mum was the opposite. She was like, keep these things. I'm like, okay. And now I'm like, I'm glad she said that. Because now I have all these things. I won't show you I've been on the hunt for Goosebump books. And I found a lot of them. I'm actually looking at a pile of Goosebumps books over there. I've been looking for Goosebump books at the Thrifts to get a huge collection. My brother used to have a massive collection. I don't know if maybe he still does. I'm pretty sure he still does. But yeah, Goosebump books are if you go to a thrift store, you probably be able to find some, for old time's sake, like you could find some of those. I know they're not your books, but you could find the books that you had, and recreate that if you really wanted to. 30 Love, Lego's a little bit harder to find, or more expensive. Can't find Lego at a thrift. Not the real Lego. 30 Love. Target have vinyl records, and I like to collect postcards, mugs, and key fobs. Nice. Yeah, vinyls are back big time. They're everywhere. Even new new albums that are coming out, in 2025 are on vinyl now. They sell them on vinyl as well. 40 Love. 40 Love. It's not uncommon in the US for folks to lose years of baseball collections when their mums are thinking they are junk. Toss them. Yeah, my mum was not like that at all. She didn't know that things were gonna go, change. She wasn't doing it because they were going to be valuable one day, but she was like sentimental value. She was like, we're not getting rid of these things. So she kept a lot of that stuff. Hey, the guy from the chef show, the bear. It's the bear. No, that's the show. It's the guy from that show he's a chef. He's got like 3 names. Come on, chat. Someone's got this. He's in the bear. He's the head chef. Not Jeremy Piven. What? Is he in the bear? Not Gordon Ramsay. No. Jeremy something. Yeah, it's Jeremy, isn't it? Jeremy. Alan White. That's it. Jeremy Allen White. And Freddie Mercury. God, I'm terrible at this. Malik? Rami Malek? Is that his name? Yes! See, Chad, I know things. Rami Malek's in the house. Celebrities are out on Labor Day. Anyways, winner down the line from Felix in his love 15. Rublev was up 4-2. In fact, I think Rublev was up 4-1. No. Was he? No, it was 4-2. And he's won 11 points in a row, Felix. 11 points in a row. As the return goes back and Felix back and Rublev sliced. Felix forehand. Rublev gets it. Felix with the volley in the net. 15 all. I used to have Tintin comic books. Nice. All right, forehand goes into the backhand of FAA. Rublev with the backhand on the stretch. Felix comes in with a volley, but it's in the net by Rublev. 15-30. Rublev is going to... I mean, he's keeping his cool. But if he gets broken here to lose this set, he will flip. Because he was in control. Demon was up 2 sets to love. And we love that. All right. Rublev backhand down the line. FAA with a lob. Smash from Rublev. Straight to Felix. What was he doing? Now Rublev's in trouble, but no. Felix hit a wide. Just. God, Rublev hitting a safe smash down the middle. I collected the CDs from Tintin. Nice. You look like David Fields in The Bear. Wait, what? This better not be an insult. You're saying I look like Joel McHale. Why? Because I have glasses and the same hair and facial hair? It's very generic. Anyways, that goes in the net. But I'm nicer than him, right? Because he's a dick in that show. I'm not that. 40-30. You could have said I look like Jeff Winger. That would have made more sense. I would have understood that reference. I would not have to Google it. I don't look anything like Joel McHale. All right, 40-30. Double fault Rublev. Ugh. Rublev trying to keep it together. And Safin trying to keep it positive. Deuce. As the return goes out by Felix. Advantage Rublev. Felix complained about the missed let cord. I'm not alone, okay? Well, I didn't hear or see it because I was talking about vinyl records. Anyways, forehand goes in the backhand of Felix. Rublev with a forehand, but no, Felix hits it out. 5-5. All right. Rublev survives. Stops the run of games. You think Sinner will get more Grand Slams than Novak? No. I do not. I think realistically, and because they're going to steal slams from each other, I think Sinner will probably end up on probably between 10 and 20, which is a broad number, but probably more likely between 12 and I want to say 18. I think it's going to be more like a Navratilova Chris Evert rivalry, where they're both going to take each other's trophies, but there is going to be other players that will win trophies. Because it's not going to be Sinner forever. Somebody's not one, there's going to be other players. I mean, we've already seen it, right? There are other players that can push these guys. You know? They're not as far ahead as they're not unbeaten. And also, I think the big thing, as we nace down the T15-0, the big thing is right now, they're not feared as much as the GOATs were, right? It was really interesting to hear Casper Ruud talking about how he's like, oh yeah, Sinner and Alcaraz are not that far ahead of us. Nobody ever said that. And the ones that did about the GOATs were kidding themselves, or Andy Murray, or Stan Wawrinka. But the fact that like guys like Rude and those guys below Alcaraz and Sinner are like, oh yeah, they're not that good, like they're not that much better than us, is pretty telling, because that means that they're not scared of them. Yeah, there's players that are definitely scared of them. Of course, there's there's people that there's definitely players that are scared, but the fact that like I think majority of them are like not as afraid of them as like they were with Nadal and Federer, Djokovic, right, is pretty telling at this point. Maybe they're delusional. They should be scared, and it's 30-all. Wait, frozen? Why is Cam not moving? Hello? What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's working. Hello? Oh, it's fine? Okay. It's weird. Ah, 40-30. As Felix serves again to stay in front. We get a let. As Felix serves again. And then the forehand from Felix into the forehand of Rublev. Rublev hits it wide. And it goes wide by Rublev, and it's Felix. Felix with the 6-5 lead. All right. Demonor, by the way, he is up 2-11 at a break. Winner of this place, winner of that. All right. All right. Can Kyrgios come back? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I think he does play again in the future, but I don't know how long that's going to go for. It seems like this wrist injury is pretty bad. Uh, 15 love. As that goes out by Rublev, 15-0. Have I seen Kyrgios in real life? Yeah, I've seen him play. As the return goes in the forehand of Rublev, back in it from Felix. Rublev with a slice in the net, 15-30. $15-30. All right. As Felix comes to the net and puts it away, it's 15-40. He has got 2 set points to really steal this first set because he's been down the entire set pretty much until the last couple of games. As Rublev with a forehand into the forehand of FAA. Backhand of Rublev again, the forehand of FAA. But Felix hits it long, and it's 30-40. One saved. $30-40. By the way, we've got Swiatek coming up in probably about 30 minutes because Demon's getting it done. All right, 30-40. As the return goes in the back of Rublev. Felix forehand cross court. Oh, he just pulled it wide. Just missed it wide. Deuce. God, he had the chance too. Felix was in that rally. All right, deuce. As Rublev serves again. The return goes out from Auger-Aliassime. Advantage Rublev. Advantage Rublev. As we're forehand from Felix to the backhand of Rublev. Felix wins a point as Rublev hits it wide. We get to deuce. As we serve again. Down the tees, a fault, second serve. As the return goes to the backhand of Rublev. Forehand again to the backhand of Rublev, into the backhand of Felix. Rublev into the forehand of Felix. As Rublev forehand goes down the line. Felix gets there with the backhand to the forehand of Rublev again. As we got a backhand rally. Now Felix runs around into forehand down the line, but Rublev gets it. Felix goes down the line with a forehand winner though. Just unleashes the hammer. Advantage FAA. He just clubbed that down the line. That was brutal. Set point again. Third set point. What a shot. I mean, he just went there and just crushed it. Advantage FAA. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of... Felix, but he ran around a backhand. I think Felix thought it was a double fault. Rublev must have hit the line by this much. He ran around thinking that it was out, I think. But it hit the line. By the way, chat, who are the two ladies that are sitting behind the coaches? I know he's engaged, right? FAA. They just look very serious. You got the coaches, and then you can tell there's I don't know. Are they supposed to be there? Okay, it's his fiance and okay. They're wearing matching outfits. They look very serious. Anyways, Felix with an advantage again. So it's his fiance and her sister. Are they twins? Okay. Well, yeah, it's just By the way, great return, Felix. He got engaged to Isla's cousin. It's not Tomatovic, though, is it? I don't think she's... Was it her? I don't know. I'll check. They just like are wearing the exact same outfit. It's, I don't know. It just looks... But they're also wearing like... They're not wearing like tennis stuff. You know, they're not wearing... They look very like formal. Anyways. Set point number 4. Rublev serves. Into the backhand of FAA. Backhand of Rublev. To the backhand of Felix. Rublev. Again to the backhand of Felix. Into the backhand of Rublev. It's Felix forehand. Rublev gets on the stretch. Felix. Again to the slice of Rublev. It's Felix with a slice forehand. And then Rublev with the backhand in the net. And Auger-Aliassime takes the first. 7-5. Rublev is starting to get loud. He's asking for the towel. Or something. What's he asking for? What's Rublev asking for? He's asking for a ball. I don't know what Rublev was on about. That was weird. He like was yelling at the ball. Well, not yelling, but he was like asking the ball kid for the ball. And then he went and checked the ball. And then he walked away. And then he's like, I'm going to the bathroom. He walked away. It was weird. Anyways, he didn't break anything, Rublev. So, but still, he's got to be bubbling inside. Because he was up. He was winning that set. He was up 4-2. He was playing really well. And then he wasn't. FAA 15 winners and 11 errors. Rublev 11 winners and 10 errors. All right, first set in the bag for Felix. 7-5. De Minaur's up 5-1 in the second, which means Swiatek versus Alexandra Eala is coming on in about 20 minutes. Rublev is not the most reliable winner? What do you mean? He wanted to smack the ball out of the stadium? Yeah, I know, but I guess by the time he got to the ball, he's like, it's not worth it. He had time to think. Yeah, it was from 2-4, 4-2 up to 5-7 down. Yep, that hurts. They flipped the De Minaur on the second network. Maybe we'll get it after all. Ooh, maybe. I mean, Swiatek Alexandra Eala is a great match, and if it wasn't for, you know, the American ladies that are playing on center court, you know, Nisimova and Gauff, Swiatek and Alexandra Eala is obviously the a great matchup, but unfortunately, she got bumped for the Americans. Understandably, because they are. But they probably asked her, "Do you want to play after Sinner versus Bublik?" And she's probably like, "Nah." They probably asked her, "Do you want to play the late night match after them, or you can play on court?" You know, Louis Armstrong, you can play on that for the daytime. And she's probably thinking, "I want to play during the day." She doesn't want to play late, especially after Bublik Sinner, which. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a long match, but it could be like a late match, but I think it's going to be a long match. It has potential to be 5 sets, but it won't be like, I don't think it'll be 5 hours. They play pretty quick. All right, 7-5. Felix with the first set. Rublev needs to recover. As we love 15. All right, serve again. Here's a fault, second serve. As a return goes into the backhand of Felix. Forehand from Rublev. Into the backhand of Felix. Rublev. Forehand again to the backhand of Felix. Off the tape from Felix, but it doesn't go in. Love 30. Chance for Rublev to get the early break. Love 15. Love 30. Ah, 15-30, good serve. There's a new Pokemon game coming out only for the Switch too? No! Oh, when's it coming out? 15-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Felix. Backhand, a forehand from Rublev on the stretch goes wide. 30-0. I think you should do this format for rugby too. Nah. October? I don't know if I want to get a Switch 2 yet. Can I get a second-hand Switch 2? Are people selling them yet? Can I buy a thrifted, not a thrifted, a used one? I know people were like getting rid of them because they hated them, but oh man, even a used one's like $600. I can't justify that. $600 for a used Switch 2. I feel like brand new I could get one for $600. Isn't that, how much are they? $780. What the hell is even that? $780? That's crazy. I remember buying... Oh my God, I sound old. I remember buying my PlayStation 3 for like $350 and it came with a game. 40 for 30. $780 is... I can't justify that for that at all. I don't need it. I've got to switch... I'll just play the old games. Anyways, good volley from Rublev and we get to deuce. There's no chance. You justify it if you play it on stream. I'm not going to play Pokemon on stream. $780 is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous number. I guess we're just going to have to hope that the game is shit. Let's hope this new Pokemon game sucks. And then I won't feel bad. Is that Aussie dollars or real dollars? In American money, it's probably like closer to 500. I think 780 is probably like 450 American. Nintendo think we're rich. And Nintendo really just is getting that millennial money, aren't they? They're like, oh, you love remember Pokemon when you were a kid? Now you can buy it as an adult, and you're like, I don't know. Everyone with adult money is just like, they know that the millennials are buying Switches. It's not a kid's toy. It's for the adults who had it as a kid. I was Nintendo 64 players. Anyways, 4-4 rally. Slice now from Rublev. Felix with a smash puts it away back to deuce. Millennial money. Oh man. Inflation from PS3 to Switch 2 though? Nah, I think it's millennial money. I think I'm going with my theory. How does a console go like double in price in 15 years? It's because the people that, 15, 20 years ago, even like 10 years ago, people couldn't adults, young adults couldn't afford to buy consoles. But now that same generation can afford to buy the new ones, and they can put the price up because people are making the people that they're gonna buy it, they're gonna have the money for it. They know. No, I can't justify Switch 2. I barely use my Switch 1 as much as I could. So I'm going backwards. I just bought a Game Boy, so I'm going back to the start. Let me play Pokemon Gold, and then I'll think about playing Pokemon, whatever they're bringing out. Backhand down the line, and Rublev in the net with a forehand. We're back to deuce. Let me play Zelda, whatever it's called, like Legends or whatever it was called. Whatever it's called, Zelda of Time or whatever. Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that game. I don't need no new games. I don't need no new games. All right, advantage. Auger-Aliassime. I bought my oldest son a Nintendo for his 5th birthday in 1989. See, that is I mean, that was the dream. I remember, I got to ask my parents what the console was, but I remember we had the same, I mean, I think at most, anyone who liked video games back in the 90s, or even the 80s, waking up on Christmas morning and opening and getting a console, doesn't matter if it was a Nintendo or a PlayStation or Xbox, whatever, opening a console and getting a console on Christmas, core memory. I mean, that was crazy. I think we got an Xbox. I know we first had a Sega Genesis. A Sega Genesis. That was the first one we had. But when we got that Xbox, it's crazy. Like, those things were like, just any console on Christmas morning was a whole thing. So many people had that experience though. So cool. So you, by doing that, Messi Sin wins. Your son, you create a core memory for your son. So whenever he's scrolling through Instagram and he sees a reel about Nintendo 64 or 64s back in the day, he will remember that and remember you for that. You created a core memory in him. Does he still play video games? Or because if he still does, you can take all the credit for that. Winner from FAA down the line. Advantage. FAA. Demon's match is done. Okay. Demon wins. Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right, nice inning by Felix. Long start to the second set. I had old Game Boys, Sega Mega Drive, Nintendo 8-bit, Sega Game Gear when I was a kid. Yeah, I got a Game Boy as well. I had the Game Boy that was the big, the grey one, the original, and then I had the Game Boy Color. All right. Swiatek's about to get on the court, so we are about to keep this party rolling. Yeah, I had a Tamagotchi as well. I had a Digimon Tamagotchi. Anyone have those? Also a Pokemon Pocket. Little Pikachu, like it was just a speedometer. Or a pedometer. What was it called? A step counter. But it looked cool. I always wanted one of those Pokédex, you know? Never got one of those because they were just too expensive and you can't find them now. Well, they can, but they're expensive. Hey! Swiatek versus Alexandra Eala is coming up. It's on Louis Armstrong. But we've also got Auger-Aliassime taking on Rublev at the moment as well. And then later we've got Gauff versus Osaka. So a lot of tennis coming up. And then tonight, Sinner Bublik, the rematch. The rematch. I hope it's being branded as the rematch. Swiatek will crush Alexandra Eala today. Okay. Shout out 1992. That's it. He definitely is not a gamer, but he will play occasionally. Okay, fair enough. All right, 15 love. As Rublev serves again. Let's get back into this match because I feel like I've been a little bit sidetracked. So winner of this will play Demon Ore. That is confirmed. That is going to happen. And now Demon, after a very straightforward win, can go sit in the locker room and see what this match is all about. And also study this this match. And study his next opponent, who are in a battle. Is that a grey hair I see? Okay, diff. Why are you picking fights? It's Monday. Also, you've been timed out twice. Why? What's going on? It's a while since Cam has not covered Swiatek. We always watch Swiatek. I think we've missed one match in like the last 3 years. All right, 15:30. FAA looking for that break. As the return goes in the back of the Rublev. Auger-Aliassime down the line. Rublev with a passing shot. Auger-Aliassime with a volley. Rublev gets it. And then Auger-Aliassime can't volley it back. Rublev says, sorry, I nearly took your head off, but you're winning, so. All right, 30-all. 30-all. Are you covering her today? We're literally watching her now. All right. Rublev trying to avoid disaster in this early part of the second set. Remember, Rublev was up 4-2 in the first set. So he really, really needs this second set. Can you believe how famous you are, Cam? I am not famous. Zero, not at all. 40-30. And I want to keep it that way. So I would like to keep it that way. 40-30. There's a forehand rally down the line to the forehand of Felix. Felix puts a forehand in the net. It's 1-1. All right, 1-1. Mint slices in tennis at 3 a.m. I'm a certified savage. Linda, that is that sounds delicious. Her games are over so quick, easy to miss. True. Look, it's Alexandrova match is going to go one of two ways, right? It's either going to be a battle because Alexandrova is very dangerous, or Alexandrova is going to hit 20 double faults and Swiatek's going to win under an hour. They're the two things that are going to happen. I mean, look, it could be a bit of a roller coaster too, right? It could be Swiatek wins the first set 6-1, and then Alexandrova lights on. I mean, okay, Alexandrova is very similar to Ostapenko style-wise. She's a little bit more. She's not as outspoken, or she's not as she's a little bit more conservative on the court and a little bit more reserved, but her game is just as dangerous. All right, 30 love. And she has beaten Swiatek before. But when she's on, it's one of those players that Swiatek, one of those styles, that Swiatek struggles with, right? But that is the question. Will she be on? Because she could overpower Swiatek today. That could happen. But also, she could hit, like I said, 20 double faults and lose in an hour, and Swiatek gets through. 30-15. By the way, Swiatek, if she does win, will take on the winner of Anisimova, Haddad Maia. I want an Anisimova rematch. I feel like Anisimova just didn't get, people are gonna, if we get that match, people are gonna think that this is easy. No. If you know your stuff, and even if you're a Swiatek fan, you know that you're going to be a little bit nervous going to that match. You know how good Anisimova can be. She might not have been good in that Wimbledon final when the stakes were so high and the pressure was there and she was playing the undefeated finalist at Grand Slams, Iga Swiatek, the greatest player of this generation. But in a quarterfinal, maybe Anisimova might not be as nervous, and that could be very dangerous. But also, she has to beat Haddad Maia. 30-15, and Swiatek has to win today. As Rublev hits it out, it's 40-15. And I would be shocked if Anisimova didn't make it, make it way closer. If it was a 6-2 or 6-1 again, or if that was the score, I'd be shocked. No, maybe not shocked, but I would be disappointed because I think Anisimova's that would be disappointing. Anisimova said she wants the rematch. See, I love that attitude. I love it. I love that Anisimova's like, yeah, give me that smoke. I want to take Swiatek on. Like Thor versus Thanos. He got the shit kicked out of him on the ship, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, bring me Thanos. And I love that. Bring me Swiatek! All right, I don't know what happened. The men's match, 2-1. They changed ends. Are tennis players allowed to have Apple Watches during the match? Probably not. Probably not, because they have coaches could send them messages and stuff, so probably not. What happened to Raducanu? Just got outplayed by a very crafty Vondrousova. It'd be a night match if that happens. I'm just trying. Swiatek and Anisimova, or Gauff, Mukova. Let's say that's the match. Swiatek and Anisimova. I don't know. That's probably the night match, right? Because Gauff versus Mukova is. I don't know. Do they put Gauff at night? I don't know. I think both matches deserve the night spot. Anisimova is not as aggressive as she was at Wimbledon. Is not looking as aggressive as she was at Wimbledon. What do you mean? Like not looking as scary? Like she doesn't look as dangerous, or she's playing a little like she's not trying. What do you mean? Felix is wearing a heart rate monitor earlier this year. Yeah, I don't think players are allowed to wear, because there's a rule. I don't know exactly the rule. But I remember, reading a rule that you're not, because remember how we had that phone issue where, Tsitsipas went to the bathroom and everyone was like, he took his phone, he's talking to his dad, and his dad was on the phone in the stands and shit, and we had that whole thing 3 years ago, which I don't think was true because he's not allowed to have his phone. But the rule, when I looked up the rules, it was you're not allowed to have any electronic devices when the match begins. So between the change of ends or the end of the set, you're not allowed to look at your phone. And that would probably extend to any electronic device, right? Watches, any electronic device, you're not allowed to use during the match. I guess the exception, I don't know what Zverev uses to monitor his blood sugar levels, but that would be a different thing, right? You can't really, nobody can text him from the stands. Plus, you can coach now. So why would the coach even need to be like, hey, I'll send you a message on what to do. They'll just tell you, right? But yeah, I think the rule was, like that I read a couple years ago, was you're not allowed to have any electronic devices. You're not allowed to use any electronic devices. Heart rate monitors. Well, heart rate monitors are a different thing, right? I mean, they're electronic and they're a device, but when I say electronic device, I'm talking about phones. I'm talking about iPads. We're talking about smartwatches. We're talking about all things that you could communicate with. A heart rate monitor. I mean, what are you gonna do with that? Just gonna keep you. Just gonna check. You can look at the data later, right? I don't think that is there's probably an exception to that rule. Communication devices. Yeah, that's probably a better term. Because you don't see anyone with iPads out there. Everyone's got notebooks, right? But you can use pen and paper. As that drop shot's great by FAA. Rublev comes to the net. Felix with a lob. Oh, it goes in. Rublev's in trouble. 30-all. Felix comes in with a smash. And puts it away. Great rally by Felix. Oh, wait, did he miss it? Did he miss it? I thought he hit it. It glitched. Everyone cheered like it was in. He missed it? Oh! It was a tough smash, but he missed it by like this much. It glitched and then cut away. I thought by the crowd reaction, they all went, oh, yay! I thought they were cheering, but they were obviously in shock. 40-30. Holy shit. Chad, this is what happens when you're using the internet in Australia. It lies to you. Deuce. Yeah, Felix missed that. The crowd reaction was of like happiness. It was weird. They were like, woo! Unless they're all Rublev fans. US Open crowd is always drunk. I don't know about that. First serve is a fault, second serve. Serve to the back into Felix. Back into Rublev. Into the forehand of Felix. Felix goes wide on the forehand. And it's advantage Rublev, who's just hanging on. He is just hanging on. Who does de Minaur have a better chance against if these two play to get to his first semi? I think he would rather play Rublev. And I'll tell you why in a second. Forehand goes in the net by Felix, 2-2. I think he'd rather play Rublev because Rublev's never been to a semi. I know de Minaur hasn't, but de Minaur, no matter what happens, I think de Minaur is probably... I know these guys are higher ranked, but I have a feeling that de Minaur is probably going to be either a slight underdog or it's going to be even money, maybe. But I don't think Demon's going to be the favorite against either of these guys. I'm not sure what the head-to-head is, but I don't feel that Demon is the favorite against either of these guys. But because Rublev's never made a semi, and that's a big thing, right? Big deal, right? He's lost 9, 10 quarterfinals, and no one's lost more quarterfinals than Rublev, right? That pressure, I think Demon will rather play that guy. Because that guy is going to be thinking about that. Whereas Felix has made the semis of a slam before, and he's also lower ranked, so in his mind, he might be like, well, you're top 10. I'm 23 in the world, 25 in the world. You're the favorite, right? I think Felix would probably have a little less emotional baggage and a little less, maybe a little less expectation, because he's probably thinking, well, if he beats Rublev, I beat Zverev, I beat Rublev, and now I'm here. I'm playing, this is bonus time, right? I wasn't expecting to get this far. Maybe a little bit of nothing to lose, whereas de Minaur would have something to lose then, right? So I think Rublev, he'd rather play Rublev. And I'd rather see him play Rublev. as a Demon fan. I think playing Rublev is a better idea, is a better choice. Thank you, guys. I'll check the. Why are they starting at 11:30 in the morning? What? Oh my God, US Open! What have you done to this? What have they done? Why is the US Open starting at 11:30 a.m.? I thought it started at 1. By the way, tomorrow matches, all 4 matches, bangers. Bangers. Like, there is no bad, like, on paper, no bad matches tomorrow. But why are they starting at 11:30 in the morning? That's wild. On a Tuesday. I thought they started in the afternoon. I mean, maybe so they don't crash into the night session because they think Alcaraz is going to go 5. If Alcaraz doesn't go 5, they're going to finish, like, they're going to have like 4 hours between.
I cannot wait for Noel vs. Fritz tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Thank you, Arian, for the 2. Yeah, so Krejcikova Pegula, followed by Lehechka Alcaraz, then Sabalenka Vondi, and then the last match of the night is going to be Djokovic versus Fritz. That is a hell of a schedule. What a schedule. I just don't understand why it's starting so early. That seems weird. I mean, the Australian Open starts at like 1 p.m. Anyways. 40-15. Ace out wide. Felix. 3-2. By the way, FAA, underrated serve. Very underrated serve. Very underrated serve. Rip Cam sleep again. My sleep has been ripped for weeks. Now I was just hoping it would be a little later start, but that's all right. I'm not mad to wake up for those matches. Those matches are crazy. If the first match was like, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any. I don't think we're going to get any bad quarterfinals, to be honest. I think every quarterfinal is shaping up to be pretty epic. All right, no disrespect to the players, but I'm going to say something mean. The worst quarterfinal we could have is if Munar and Bublik win. That would be the worst quarterfinal. Or maybe Sinner Munar, because Munar is unseeded and Sinner is like the best. But other than that, if that happened, then yeah, but we'd still watch it. But like, I don't think there's a bad match coming up. And I don't think Sinner's going to lose. So even if Sinner plays Munar or Musetti, we still watch Sinner regardless. Demonor playing the winner of this, banger match. Doesn't matter who it is, it's a banger. On the women's side, Swiatek. I mean, Hadajmaya Alexandrova is probably the least exciting match. I don't think people would be super keen to like. I don't think that match is super interesting, but still, I mean, one of them's making the semis, so that's a huge deal. But obviously, Swiatek and Nisimova would be epic. Kostruk Gauff or Mukova, or Osaka Gauff or Mukova. Osaka Kostruk or Mukova. I don't think that's a bad match. Anyone who wins those matches are going to be great. So there's like maybe 2 matches that could happen that are like, but other than that, and I don't think we're going to get those matches or those matchups. I think that's going to be a pretty fire set of quarterfinals coming up. Anyways, Swiatek serving first. I'm going to go Swiatek in straight sets, but close. I think Alexandrova's going to make too many errors, and Swiatek's going to clutch. Love 15. There's a bit of fault from Alexandrova. Second serve. Return goes in the forehand of Alexandrova. And Alexandrova hits it wide. Love 30. Did you get nachos yesterday? Nah. I didn't have time. Maybe I'll get maybe today. Anyways, forehand goes cross court into the net from Felix. 40 love. Also, chat went to the bakery. They had run out of pretty much everything. Australian internet must be okay because you're a good 30 seconds ahead of me. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just glitchy as all hell. Love 40. Swiatek with a return winner. Coco's playing later after the Rublev match. So it could be in a couple hours. All right. Love 40. Swiatek to start. Strong. All right. Love 40. Alexandra Eala serves again. To the back of Swiatek. Backing up from Alexandra Eala down the line. Swiatek forehand on the stretch. Goes out. And it's 15-40. As a return for Swiatek goes to the forehand of Alexandrova. Swiatek forehand down the line as Alexandrova gets on the stretch. Swiatek backhand to the forehand of Alexandrova. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Alexandrova backhand cross. Swiatek goes down the line to the forehand of Alexandrova to the forehand of Swiatek who overhits it. And it is 30-40. Also 40-30 for Rublev to try and level the second. But he can't do that, and it's deuce. Diminor has had an easy road. Yeah, because Hashanov lost. Who was having a great season. Alexandrova in the net. There's the break. Swiatek 1-0. One love Swiatek. That's the start. As Felix gets to advantage, he's trying to get that break in the second. Rublev starting to get angry. And the crowd's starting to react to him. He just smacked the ball into the ground. And the crowd were like, ooh, he's not happy. Great return winner by Felix. Great return winner. Oh, Rublev slapped himself in the foot. Ouch. All right, Rublev serves. Into the backhand of Felix. Return goes backhand of Rublev. He hits it wide. Oh, the racket's gone. 4-2. Rublev's racket just took a beating. Didn't break. Just got its feelings hurt. 4-2. Rublev is in trouble. He was up 4-2 in the first, and now he's down 4-2 in the second, and down a setter as well. Now, Swiatek with the break already. One love. Felix has got a great opportunity, but he needs to win the second now. Well, he's got Rublev getting tilted. This Felix is a beautiful backhand winner. 15 love. Swiatek double faults, all right. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes back to Swiatek, she hits a winner. Down the line, 15-all. $15-all. All right, we get a let on the first serve. God, Mirra Andreeva's so cool. I know I said his shirt looked out of place, but when he's sitting there, just with his arms crossed and those sunglasses, God, he just looks cool. He just looks so cool. If he wasn't coaching, is that lady holding a bottle of wine behind him? Anyways, 30-15. She's just drinking out of the bottle. What the hell? Must be water. Surely that's water. 30-15. She's like clutching a bottle. Like a wine bottle. What the hell? In the coach's box. That's crazy. 40-15. FAA for a 5-2 lead. Safin's got a date on a yacht later. That is so... That's the out. He looks nautical. That's what... Yes. He looks like he's about to set sail. That's what he looks like. He looks like a pirate. A new age pirate. Swiatek 1540. That is... Yes. The stripes... He looks like he's going to go for a... He's going to jump on a boat. That's so true. He's looking very nautical. And it's 5-2 FAA. Sailing Safin, that's it. Anyways, Alexandra Eala breaks back. All right, 1-1. Alexandra Eala gets back that break. 1-1. Can Kostyuk beat Mukova? Yes. By the way, Igor Andreev, who also played in the Safin generation, is coaching Alexandra Eala. Rublev. He's in big trouble. He is in big trouble. Uh, 15 love. Alexandra Eala. Would FAA winning be a big upset? I don't think so. I think it was a 50-50 coming in. So FAA winning in straight sets would be surprising, but I don't think it would be an upset. I know the head-to-head 7-1, but if you look at the head-to-head, like if you zoom into it, it's been very competitive, this matchup, every time they played, except for the last time they played. Every match they played could have gone either way. Felix had chances in some matches, didn't take them. I think a straight sets win for Felix would be a pretty big statement. But no, I don't think an upset. I don't think it's an upset. Alexandra Eala double faults, 30-15. I mean, technically, if the betting was in favor of Rublev like by 1 cent, then yes, it's an upset. But I don't think anybody coming in is going, oh my God, I can't believe Felix is winning. I think after this Zverev match, I think a lot of people, thought that he could win this too. All right. In the net from Swiatek, 40-15. To take the lead, Alexandra Eala. She serves a fault second serve. As the return goes to the front of Alexandra Eala. She hits a winner. Does Alexandra Eala. That was a beautiful shot. And Swiatek is down. Alexandra Eala 2-1. 40-15, by the way. Rublev to make Felix serve for a 2-6-love lead. That was a crazy winner by Alexandra Eala on the back foot and just slaps it inside out for a forehand. That is power. All right, Rublev holds. 5-3, Auger-Aliassime. 5-3. He's going to serve for a 2-6-love lead. Five, 3. All right. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Auger-Aliassime. Forehand is a winner down the line. And it's 15-love. Hey, Gina, thank you for the 39 months. Appreciate that. Also, thank you, Tori, for the 3 months yesterday. By the way, chat, I think I'm gonna have to change the badges a little bit, because now that there's a 10-year badge, and I know there's some of you are almost at 5 years, which is crazy, but I'm gonna have to upgrade, change the badges, I think, somehow. So just be prepared. I don't know how I'm going to change them, but I'm going to have to add more of them. Because now YouTube are allowing that. 30 love. FAA 2 points away from the first 2 sets. And he was down a break in the first set, if you remember that. Rublev was in control. 30 love. As the return goes in the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Rublev down the line. Felix backhand on the stretch. As Rublev forehand in the forehand of Felix. Rublev forehand goes long. 40 love. Felix Auger-Aliassime for a double set. That's not a thing. For a 2 sets to love lead. 40 love. Don't worry, chat. I'll get you your stats in a second. I know what you're thinking. And I'll tell you. I'll give you the answer after this. 40 love. Felix with a fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Rublev. Rublev hits it out. 2 sets to love. Auger-Aliassime leads. In this match against Andrey Rublev, winner plays Demon Or on Wednesday. Swiatek, by the way, she is trying not to go down a break. 30-0. All right, 30-0. As we're flying out of the backhand of Alexandrova. She goes down the line in the net, Alexandrova, and it's 40-30. 40-30. 6 times has Rublev come back from 2 sets to love. 6 times in his career. He's come back from 2 sets to love down. Actually, sorry, I lied. That's from 2 sets to 1 down. 2 times. 2 times. He's come back from this position. And Felix has lost from 2 sets to love up 5 times. So there is an opportunity. But Rublev is going to have to dig deep. In fact, FAA has actually lost twice this year from 2 sets to love up. Australian Open against Fokina, he was up 2 sets to love and lost in 5. And against Analdi at the French Open, he was up 2 sets to love and lost in 5. So it has happened twice this season. Also at Kokkinakis last year at Wimbledon. So 3 of those 5 have come in the last 12 months or so. So that's not a great record in recent times. But Rublev, he hasn't come back from 2 sets to love down since last year's US Open when he was 2 sets to love down against Rinderk Nesh and came back to win 6-2 in the 5th. But yeah, twice. Once against Query at Roland Garros 2020 and once against Rinderk Nesh. He goes on to lose the match 23 times when he's down 2 sets to love. He has lost his last 3 matches when he's been down 2 sets to love. To be honest, he actually did pretty well against Dimitrov last year. He was down 2 sets to love. Came back to the 5th, but then lost in 5. And then against against Sinner and also against Fonseca this year. He's down 2-11 and lost in straights. So I guess because he did it last year, 12 months ago, maybe he feels like, hey, I remember 12 months ago I was down 2-11. I came back to win. But I don't know. Maybe one of the coaches has to tell him that. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's going to tell him. 40-15. Alexandra Eala to take the lead. And she serves an ace. All right. By the way, Alexandra Eala, one of the I think maybe top 3 aces, ace machines, serve bots of the year. I don't know what to call her. She's actually number 4. She's hit the 4th most aces this year behind Raducanu at 1, Towson, Noskova, and then Alexandra Eala. But she's also hit the 3rd most double faults this year behind Gauff, Parks, and then Alexandra Eala. So 4th most aces, 3rd most double faults. But luckily for her, her ratio is positive. So she's hit 253 aces and 215 double faults. So at least she's hit more aces than double faults. Whereas Gauff, she's only hit 8 aces and 300 double faults. So, and Parks is like on the negative too. She's probably about a 45-55 aces to double faults. Whereas Alexandra Eala's in the positive. So that's good. Raducanu, she's only hit 165 double faults and 359 aces before this week. So, yeah. So if you've got a positive record with double faults and aces, ace to double fault, then you're doing all right. You're doing pretty good. You're pretty decent on serve. Definitely a weapon of Alexandra Eala is her serve. All right, Rublev trying to do the improbable. That has come back from 2-love down for the 3rd time in his career. Tennis commentators at Live doesn't know what you said. What do you mean? Hey, Billie Jean King's in the house. They named the whole place after her. Do you reckon she just gets to she gets to walk in, right? There's no way they ask her to show the ticket, right? She's like, my name's on the building. Like, what are you talking about? I am Billie Jean King. There's no way, right? There's no way she has to buy a ticket. Ever. They called it the Billie Jean Tennis... What do they call it? Wait, hang on. The USTA Billie Jean King Tennis Center. Wait. Tennis... She doesn't need to pay for it. Surely she's... Never. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. That's a long name. They named the venue after her. She can just walk in there. If anybody asks her for ID or for a ticket, they will probably get kicked out. FAA breaks! I got distracted. Felix breaks! Felix breaks. He's up 2-11 a break. She owns the house. It's her house. Exactly. Okay. Billie Jean King was a salty player in her day. So, I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that because I didn't watch her, but she's a legend, so. Give me an example, because I don't know. Educate me. Tell me when was she salty? When she lost matches? And give me an example. I feel like if you're calling a player salty, you got to give me an example, right? Especially a legend like Billie Jean King. Swiatek holds 3-0. 3-0 in the first. Do you ever see when they questioned Federer of entering Wimbledon? I did. I did see that. But that guy was, that's doing his job. I think it's different with Billie Jean King at the US Open. I mean, I'm sure that every person who works at the US Open knows that Billie Jean King, knows who she is and knows that, she's iconic. She's got an iconic look. You couldn't mistake her for anybody else, right? Whereas at Wimbledon, it's a little different. I think Wimbledon would probably be a little bit more formal. And Roger, but Swiatek just hit a ridiculous volley. That's like an Alcaraz shot. What the hell? Speaking of Federer, that was a beautiful Federer volley by Swiatek. What the hell? It was like a drop volley 360 spin. That was a great shot by Swiatek. Woo! Love 15. Is it a forehand rally? Forehand from Swiatek goes wide, and it's 15-0. She was intensely competitive and criticized for it at times, as most ladies didn't show emotion on court. How does that make her salty? That's not the same as salty. Calling someone salty is is kind of calling them like a bad loser. Like she loses and then she doesn't give the play. That's salty. What you said is that she's just a very highly competitive person. Which in the 60s and 70s, shouting and pumping your fist was not, tennis behavior. It's normal now, but back then it wasn't. Jimmy Connors probably got shit for it too. That's not salty. That's salty means something different. Anyways, 2-Love FAA. And Swiatek gets a 15-40. I've seen Billie Jean King walk into the place escorted by security, befitting the royalty. She is. I mean, yeah, she's basically the queen of the US Open. Oh, Alexandra Eala with a terrible drop shot in the net. 4-3. Yeah, Billie Jean King is basically she is the queen when it comes to the US Open. I know Serena is the queen of American tennis, but Billie Jean King, when she comes to this tennis, she is the queen for sure. Oh, Alexandra! I mean, she didn't need to go for that. She didn't need to hit that drop shot. She could have just hit a forehand regulation shot down the line. Swiatek was going the wrong way. She just outplayed her. She played herself. That was a tough shot though, very close to the net. But I think Alexandra Eala thought, "I'm gonna hit this hard," and then went, "Nah, I'm gonna hit a drop shot." Swiatek apologized. Maybe hit the net. Did it hit the net? Either way, Alexandra Eala shouldn't have missed that. Everyone at the gate waiting for the night session applauded as she entered. That's awesome. That is royalty. That's as close to royalty as you're going to get in America, I guess. That's some. Yeah, that's true. That's lovely. I really love to see that. I assume that Billie Jean King is a special guest. I think she's been there every day. She goes to the the US Open every day. 30-15, Rublev just trying to get on the board here in the third. He's down 2-11 a break. He needs a bit of a miracle, I think. He needs Felix to get nervous, which could happen. Felix does get nervous sometimes. He's never beaten Rublev in straight sets. Is it a backhand into the forehand of Rublev and Felix in the net with a forehand? Hang on, let me just double check that I didn't just make that up. Let me double check my stats. He has never beaten Rublev in straight sets. He's beaten Rublev once, and it was in 3 sets. I get to keep my job. Let's go. All right, 40-15. Swiatek with a break, 4-3. 4-3. Swiatek serves again. An ace. What a serve. I tell you, Wim Fizette can take full credit for Swiatek's serving over the last 12 months. She is serving so... I mean, that's how she won Wimbledon. She doesn't win Wimbledon if that serve doesn't get better. And her serve is a kind of a bit of a beast now. It used to be a vulnerability, right? That's why she... We're guessing that's why she got Wim Fizette on, because her serve was attackable. But now, that serve is a weapon. It's funny, because Alcaraz kind of did the same. And she serves an ace on time. That's exactly what this guy said. Come on. What was I saying about her serve? She serves an ace. Thank you, Swiatek, for making me look smart. Alcaraz is the same, though. I mean, Swiatek and Alcaraz both have beefed up their serves in the last 12 months. And it's definitely helping. Hey, Jay, thanks for joining. Welcome. All right. 15-love as Alexandra Eala serves to stay in the set. By the way, the celebrities are all talking to each other. They're all wearing all black as well, which makes them look fancy. All right, 15-love. Mukova Kostyuk just started. All right. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Swiatek forehand down the line. As Alexandrova hits a backhand into the back of Swiatek. The backhand of Alexandrova. Swiatek backhand to the forehand of Alexandrova. Again to the forehand of Swiatek. Alexandrova gets on the stretch. Swiatek goes down the line. Alexandrova gets there with the backhand. And then Swiatek hits a backhand winner. Down the line. 15-0. $15-all. As Alexandrova hits a lovely cross-court backhand into the open court. 30-15. All right. 30-15. Alexandrova serves again. We had a fault second serve. Return goes out by Swiatek, and it's 40-15. Ah, 40-30. Beautiful shot by Swiatek on the return. 40-30. That's Rublev at 15-30. Trying to get this break back, but it's 30-all. Felix making it tough. Alexandrova double faults. And it's deuce. All right, breakpoint Rublev, 30-40. Alexandra Eala double faults again. All right, love advantage. Advantage Swiatek to take the first set. And Rublev trying to get back on serve. As the return goes to the backhand of Felix. Rublev can't get it. And FAA survives. Deuce. As a return from Swiatek to the forehand of Alexandrova. Slice in the net though. There it is. Swiatek first set. Not an easy first set. Alexandrova was dangerous at times, but I tell you what, those drop shots and those slice shots are not... She's not executing. And she knows it. Those shots were not what she wanted. Hey, it's the Empire State Building. All right, Rublev, he hits it wide. It's advantage Auger-Aliassime. Imagine if Rublev breaks at 4-5. It might be the turning point of the match. Maybe, yeah. He's got to get there first. I mean, he's still down a break here. All right. FAA to go to 3. To go to 3-1. Rublev puts up a lob. And that goes out by Rublev. 3-1. Okay. 3-1. Auger-Aliassime with the set and 2 sets 11 a break. All right. When Billie Jean King first won the US Open in 1967, it was called the US Championships. The next year, Arthur Ashe won the men's competition. Nice. All right, 15 love. As Rublev serves a fault, second serve. Let's see how Swiatek does in the second, if she's going to start to run away with it. Or if she's going to have to fight for it. Gauff versus Osaka comes on after this men's match. So stay tuned for that. All right, 30-15 Rublev. As Rublev serves again. An ace. 40-15. $40-15. And then the return goes out by Felix. All right. Rublev holds. 3-2. Also, Swiatek, 30 love. As a return from Alexandrova into the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it wide. 30-15. By the way, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you came in here and you're like, I did that. Just go check. Maybe you didn't. All right, they're showing people on the screen. I can't see them, though. 30-15. Oh, they're showing the celebrities. All right, 30 all. I wonder how many people are going to show up for the next match, because I'm sure there's going to be some celebrities in the Coco match. $30 as the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Point out from Alexandrova. Ooh, just goes long. 40-30. Looking for breaks already. All right. By the way, Chad, it would kind of be fitting if Swiatek did win Wimbledon and the US Open to end the year. Like, she is the generational talent, right? She is the best player of the decade. For her to win, like, yeah, she dominates the French for so many years, and then kind of out of nowhere, she wins like the last two slams of the year when we all thought, well, we didn't think Wimbledon was really, after the French Open, we thought, oh man, she's not playing that very well. And then she wins Wimbledon, and then to win the US Open as well and just end the year with both slams, you go, yeah, that sounds like something she would do. Like, eventually, like, you know, that feels like that's what the best player, you know, of the decade would do. Would end the year off by winning both slams, then going to Australia to win 3 in a row. I mean, that seems like a Swiatek thing to do. When was the last time somebody won Wimbledon and the US Open back-to-back? Because it has to be Serena on the women's side. It has to be Serena, right? I feel like it doesn't happen that often. Do many players win the Wimbledon US back-to-back? I feel like it doesn't happen that much. Besides, like, the GOATs and, you know. Like, how many players have won the US Open and Wimbledon US Open back-to-back? So, yeah, Serena back in 2012 did it. And that was a lot. So it's been a minute. I mean, before Serena, it was Serena again in 2002. Venus did it in 2001. Steffi did it a bunch, obviously. Navratilova did it a bunch as well back in the 70s and 80s. Chris Evert did it back in the 70s. So, I mean, so it's basically... Margaret Court did it as well. So it's basically, if you win the, I mean, that's a great bunch of names. If you win Wimbledon and the US Open back-to-back, you put yourself in pretty rare company. You know, not many players have done that. You know, Serena, Venus, Steffi, Martina, Chrissy, Court. I mean, that's a pretty good list to be a part of. 30-15. That's a pretty good list. All right. Swiatek comes to the net. 30-all. As that's a winner from Alcaraz. He's not even playing today. I don't even know where that came from. 40 love. Rublev. Somebody asked, let's see, what about on the men's side? I'll answer that question as well. All right. And that goes out by Rublev, 40-15. Swiatek looking for the break. She's a backhand winner, 30-40. So on the men's side, Djokovic did it in 2018. That was the last one to do it. So Sinner's trying to obviously do it. 2015, Djokovic did it there as well. 2011, Djokovic. 2010, Rafa. Roger did it for 4 years in a row. Pete did it back in the 90s, where he won Wimbledon and the US back-to-back. He did it in 93, 94. 93, 95. McEnroe in 84. Connors in 82. Both did Wimbledon and the US. Connors did it a couple of times, as Rublev holds 4-3. And then, of course, Laver back in the 60s. So again, yeah, it's not easy. John Newcombe did it back just before the Open era, 67. In fact, his first two slams were in 1967, where he took the US Open, Wimbledon US Open back to back, by beating some. It was weird because back in 67, Laver and Rosewell were not in those slams. So the first two slams that Newcombe won, and we've spoken about this with Roy Emerson, like he had 12. Again, you can't take that away from him, but you also got to remember that between 1962 and 1969, Laver, Rosewell, and some of the other big names were playing in a different tour, which wasn't part of the slams. It was called the Pro. Was it the Pro Tour? Was that the name? And they were competing for different trophies that were like the equivalent of Wimbledon, but it was like a different Wimbledon. It was like Wimbledon. It wasn't the official Wimbledon. So Nuke winning his first two Grand Slams didn't have to play Laver or anyone like that, but he did win 7, and he won his third slam in 1970, and he beat Rosewell in the final. So, and he beat Emerson along the way too. So, again, you can't take slams away from people, but you got to remember that between 62 and 68, the tour wasn't. It was cut in half. Anyways, 1-1. Swiatek couldn't break, and Alexandra Eala hits a winner. Love 15. Yeah, I wouldn't call the Pro Slam Wimbledon light. It was probably more competitive, all the best players were playing in I think it was called the Wembley Championships. The Wembley Championships were way more. I mean, the level they had all the professional players who were the best players in the world. You know, they and then Wimbledon was the amateurs. The amateur tour really for that period, and then they obviously had the Open era, which combined everybody, and then everybody played everybody, and the rest is history. Oh, wait, Greg, were you referring to Wimbledon Light as in, like, Wimbledon Light was, like, during those times that Wimbledon was Wimbledon Light? All right. FAA, 30 love. He's 2 games away from making the quarters. 30 love. Which sounds like it's a beautiful backhand down the line, 30-15. The Wimbledon Championship, the Wembley Championships were indoor as well. Not sure how they fit all the courts in. Was it really? That's interesting. That is interesting. All right, 30 love. As Auger-Aliassime with an ace down the tee. 40 love. Swiatek gets a 40-15. Oh, sorry. Did Boris Becker also win? Did I miss that? Boris Becker did it as well, did he? Oh, he did back in 89. My bad. Yeah, Boris Becker as well. Sorry, I'm blind. Anyways, 5-3. Yeah, Boris did it back in 89 as well. So he's on that list too. So again, it's a pretty good list to be on. All right, Rublev 7 to stay in the match. It's been pretty straightforward after that first set. FAA is just kind of chilling. Hingis too. Jeez, did I miss? How many names have I missed? How early in the morning is it? Can't read. Oh yeah, Hingis did it amongst all the Steffi Graf name. Like she did it so many times that Hingis was in there too. Yeah, you're right. Hingis did it in 97. Right, let me just check. Did I miss anyone else? No, I think that's about it. Anyway, still, Hingis on the list and Becker. I mean, both of them are still being on the list with them is pretty damn crazy. Also, the fact that Swiatek might have 7 slams by the end of this, like this time next week, is crazy. All right, Rublev holds. Auger-Aliassime is going to serve to win in straight sets. I mean, Swiatek having 7 slams. I feel like once you get to 7, that feels like a big number, like a bigger number. Like, ooh, 7. Ooh, yeah, it's not 25, but like 7 feels like a serious number. Like you can win 4, and that's good. Like people have done that, but it's a good number. That's very, very good. But 7. Oh, okay. We're starting to get close to double digits now. Like it's getting. That's a big number. I mean, yeah, compared to the men's side, I mean, 7 is like one of the top 10 best all time, right? But 7 on the women's side is not as. I mean, it has been done more, but it just does feel like we're getting close to 10. All right, 15. Especially considering that she'll have two US Opens at Wimbledon and 4 French Opens. Like 2 US Opens in a Wimbledon is very nice. And Swiatek's going to win the Australian Open eventually. She's going to get the Australian Open eventually. All right. Auger-Aliassime is going to serve for the match and play Demon Ore in the quarterfinals in a couple of days. Canada versus Australia. You know it's going to be a fiery chat that day. 5-4. As Rublev hits a return off the tape, Felix comes in and puts it away. 15 love. Pretty clinical, by the way, by Felix. Besides losing like an early break in the first set, he's cruised. 15 love. Swiatek 15-30, by the way. As she tries to break. All right. As Felix serves an ace. 30 love. 30 love. $30 love. 2 points away. Swiatek, by the way, has got break points. All right, 30 love. As the return goes in the front of Felix. Oh, and he hit the line. Rublev was hoping it was long, but no shot. 40 love. 3 match points for Auger-Aliassime to just dominate Rublev, really. I mean, this has been super one-sided. Swiatek breaks, she's up 3-1 in the second. Felix serves. A fault. Second serve. Serve in the back of Rublev. Good return. Felix hits it back into the front of Rublev to the back of Felix. He hits a winner down the line. No reaction either. I mean, Felix is like, yep, I did it. He wins his second ever match against Rublev and his first in straight sets. And he doesn't even, like, he just kind of looked at his coach. He's like, yeah, we did it again. Like, he's like, I'm going to win the thing. Now he's throwing fists. But yeah, I mean, what the hell? He's just like, I won. All right, now he's going to play Demon. Well, that's a fun match. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we're going to watch it. All right. FAA beats Rublev. By the way, I know I did say that it should be 5 sets this match. I stand by that. Even though it wasn't. Man, but Rublev after that first set, I mean, look, it's weird because Rublev didn't even really yeah, he got angry. He definitely got angry, especially after losing the break in the first set, but he didn't lose his cool that much, Rublev. He kind of just like got outplayed and didn't seem that bothered at the end. I mean, Rublev didn't look that pissed off in the third set. Second set, there was moments where he was a bit annoyed, but yeah, Rublev, his temperament was pretty chill, besides throwing the racket in the first set. Other than that, Felix just too good. De Minaur Felix is going to be really good. Because De Minaur is going to get a lot of those shots that Felix hit back. That's going to be a fun match. What's their head-to-head? That's going to be really interesting. They did play in Rome last year. It was 3 sets Demon. Which was interesting. 2-1 Felix. Okay. They played 3 times. No Grand Slam matches, but the two matches on hard courts, Felix has won. But they were back in 2022. And Demon in 2025 is a lot different than 2022. And they played on clay, and Demon won that last year. But that, again, Felix was coming off the Madrid final, so you think maybe there was a bit of fatigue there. But it's going to be a good one. It's probably going to be a 50-50. Maybe Felix the favorite just because he's won the last 2 matches and like here with by beating 2 really good guys. Man, but FAA, one of them's going to play possibly Sinner in the semis. So, all right, 40-30, Swiatek to go to 4-1. And the backhand goes wide, Alexandra Eala, 4-1, Swiatek in the second. All right, if you want to keep watching the Swiatek match, we've got Gauff versus Osaka coming up next as well. But jump on over here and keep watching. If you want to keep going with this Swiatek win. So far, so good. But Auger-Aliassime wins. Straight sets, 5, 3, and 4. He beats Rublev, and he's into the quarterfinals of the US Open again.